Good afternoon and welcome back to the channel. Turning on the camera again, once again this week, to talk about some of the openings that we have for this weekend, as well as the Jericho ATV Festival weekend in 2 weeks. Just so I don't have to repeat myself over and over again in the video, Jericho weekend is July 31st, August 1st, August 2nd is the weekend that event takes place. So when I refer to Jericho weekend, the rest of this video, that is the weekend that I'm referring to. And then as far as this weekend is concerned, today is Wednesday the 15th, so I'm talking about the 17th, 18th, and 19th of July. That is the next weekend that we have for availability. But anyway, let's talk about some of the sites that we have available for this upcoming weekend. First and foremost, standing here on the landing, which has 5 sites on it. So we have over here, we have site number 1, 2, which is one of our rental campers, 3 is right here, 4 is right here, and 5 is over where that where my truck is, the other white truck that's over there by that American flag. So as far as this weekend is concerned, I have no availability here on the landing except for site 5. That's that spot right over next to the office. It does only accommodate campers up to about 22 feet. So you're talking pop-ups, teardrops, that kind of stuff. It's not a great site unless it's the only one left. It's usually when I sell it. So, but that site is available this coming weekend. As for Jericho weekend, I don't have any RV sites available whatsoever in the park for Jericho weekend. So before you call, if you happen to see this video, I can tell you right now we are booked up on all of our full hookup sites for Jericho weekend. And we are also fully booked on our affordable tent sites. Those 2 sites that we have that are just $20 a night, those sites are also taken for Jericho weekend. So for Jericho weekend, all we're going to be talking about is tent sites and a couple of our rentals. And one of the rentals that is available Jericho weekend is this one right here. This is on site number 2. It's a bunkhouse. It's got 4 bunks in the back and a master bed in the front. And so it can house about 6 to 8 people in that camper. That camper is in fact booked for this weekend, so it's not available this upcoming weekend, but this camper is still available for Jericho weekend. All right, so let's move on before the black flies carry me away. We're gonna basically walk the park and talk about some of the other sites that we have available for the weekend. All right, let's continue our walk. We're talking about cabin 6 here and cabin 8. This is the cabins on site number 6, site number 8. They are identical cabins, as I mentioned before. And these 2 cabins are in fact available for this weekend. The folks that are staying in these cabins right now, actually this one is currently vacant. There is somebody in that one, but they are leaving tomorrow morning. So after tomorrow, well, this one is available now. This one will be available as of tomorrow, and they're both available for the weekend that we are heading into. But both of these are reserved for Jericho weekend, so unfortunately they're not available. Now across from those cabins we have site number 7. This site is still available for both weekends, and it is the first site coming up the hill on the right hand side of the road. So this site does have water and sewer, but no power. Let's move on. All right, this is one of our other rental campers on site number 9. And while we're talking about rental campers, let's talk about the camper down on the beach. I didn't show it to you, but I've shown it to you in past videos. The 2-person camper that sits down right next to the beach, that camper is available this weekend and Jericho weekend. but it is a very small camper and it can only house 2 people, so it's probably why they're not it's not taken for the weekend. But if you did have just a party of 2 and needed a place to stay, that camper is available. And the beauty about that camper is you walk right out of the camper and you're right on the beach. This one here is a bigger bunkhouse. This one can also sleep about 6 to 8 people. This is our camper on site number 9. And this camper is available for this upcoming weekend, but it is taken for Jericho weekend. And as you can see, it's got a nice little setup. Got a lot of pine needles on it because the pine trees are shedding right now, but it's got a nice setup for outdoor furniture. Big huge deck off the side of this camper. And actually, while we're here, I might as well take you through it real quick. Let's go inside. Right now I'm keeping it open just for ventilation, because these campers can get musty, especially when it's muggy out as it is today. But as you can see, this camper, and hopefully you can see in the dark here, I don't have any lights on in here, but it's got a very good sized bathroom. And then it has a couple bunk beds there and an extra dinette that can be made into a 3rd bed. So this is the bunkhouse in the back. Of course, none of the beds are made. I generally don't make the beds until either the day before or the day of somebody coming and staying here, just to make sure that the linens are all nice and fresh. But we do provide linens if you want them. Some people choose to, those are the pillows that belong on this bed, but this is the master bed in this camper. So some people, as I was saying, some people do choose to bring their own linens. It's completely up to you. If you are going to rent one of our campers or cabins, we do provide linens if you want them. If you don't, you can certainly bring your own. So we can do it either way you want to do it. But that's the standard policy here at the campground going forward. All right, next to this camper we have site number 11, and this campsite is available both weekends. It's actually a very long site. It could accommodate a very long camper, but because it's still labeled as a tent site, that means it does not have power, but it does have water and sewer on it. So this campsite can accommodate a camper of just about any length, and it's a fairly easy back in. You just have a climb up the hill to get into position to back it in. And our hill, I've measured it on my F-150. It is 13 degrees when I come up over this hill, just to give you an idea of how steep the hill is. This side is not as steep as the back side. This side I think is only like 10 or 11 degrees on the if you're familiar with the F-150 and how the modern trucks can measure the degrees of tilt either sideways or front to back, that's where I got that number from. So anyway, moving on, we have site number 13 right here. This is another sizable tent site. It does have water on it, no power. It does have a sewer connection. That site is also available both weekends, just like number 7 and number 11. So if you've yet to book a site and need a no hookup site, now the beauty of 13 is it is directly across from our bathhouse right here. And even though the site itself does not have power, there is a 15 amp socket right here that you can tap into to charge your devices. All right, next to 13 we have 15. That one is also available both weekends. This one does not include anything at all in terms of utilities. It's just strictly a parking spot. This one is a little on the smaller side compared to 13, but it is, again, right across the way from the bathhouse. So you can have access to both water and power right at the bathhouse, should you need it. All right, moving on. All right, let's talk about these sites, 2 sites down here. These are sites 16 on the left, 17 on the right. 17 is available both weekends. This is 17 over here. 16 over here is only available this coming weekend. It is not available for Jericho weekend. Someone did reserve it. And 17 is probably our largest tent site up here. Slightly larger than 13, and it can accommodate very long campers, although again, no hookups, so you'd have to have a camper that's set up for dry camping. And then we have site number 18, which is one of our affordable sites. This one is one of the smallest on the property, probably the second to smallest. It is available, it's in our affordable category, which means it's $20 a night, and what you see is what you get. No picnic table, fire ring is available, but that's it. That's all you get, and it's a very small site. You really can't. You would probably have to park your vehicle up next to the bathhouse, up in that area, just to the right of the bathhouse. You could get a small pop-up in here, but given how much space you have here to maneuver, it is a very, very tight maneuver to get any kind of trailer in here. So anyway, all right, let's move on. So this is the hill I was talking about that registers 13 degrees on my F-150 when I drive up this hill. So it is a very steep climb. All right, since we did just talk about site number 18, which is one of our affordable sites, let's talk about site number 33, which is actually in between sites 22 and 24. You walk up this little area and you walk up this little hill up into this site, and what we're walking through is your parking space. You wouldn't be able to park on this hill because well, number one, it's too steep, but number two, our water line runs right in between these 2 markers right here, and we can't be running over that. So you would park down here on the grass at the base of this little hill, and then you walk up here and you get this little tent site right here. So this is our other, along with 18, this is number 33. This is our other affordable tent site. Again, what you see is what you get. You get a fire pit only, no picnic table, and both the affordable campsites are available this weekend, but neither one of them are available on Jericho weekend. They've both been taken. And then I haven't talked about it in recent videos, so let's talk about it now. This area between that power panel thingy over here, all the way over to about where that flower bed is over there in those rocks. All this grassy area, this is our designated trailer parking and extra vehicle parking. So if you don't have room on your site for your car, truck, or trailer, this space right here, this is the trailer parking for the entire campground. As you can see, there are a couple trailers here, and every campsite on the property does come with 1 trailer is allowed per campsite, and this comes into particular with the Jericho weekend, because we're fully booked on the RV side, and almost everybody who's staying here that weekend is bringing ATVs and ATV trailers. So this whole area, this whole grass area behind me, is going to be absolutely packed with trailers. So we have to limit it to some degree by limiting not only the number of trailers you can bring, but the size of trailers that you can bring. So so again, with every campsite, you're allowed to bring 1 trailer that is up to 24 feet long, and any trailer that exceeds 24 feet, like this big Tex right here in front of us, there's an extra $35 charge for oversized trailers, because essentially those big trailers take up the spot of, essentially we could probably fit 2 small trailers in that space. So yeah, we're ending the practice of, I think the old owner did not allow oversized trailers at all. I'm never going to say no to stuff like that. We just may have to charge a fee to accommodate or to allow for bigger or oversized trailers, just so that we don't have too many of those big trailers taking up all the space. So anyway, moving on back to campsites. Okay, so over here on the right we have campsite 22, we have campsite 24, and we have campsite 26. All three are empty right now. And in terms of this weekend, all three are available for this upcoming weekend. They're all full hookup sites, and we do have availability for this weekend. So those are three really good sites. You're in the shade. It's about 4:30 in the afternoon right now, and as you can see, we are completely in the shade right now. The sun is in the trees. The sun comes up over in this side, so you'll be in the shade first thing in the morning until the sun comes up to about here, and then you'll be in the sun until the trees kind of give you shade again. So these are mostly shady sites. They're not 100% shaded, but for a good chunk of the hottest part of the day, you will be in the shade. Certainly by 2 in the afternoon, these three sites are going to be shaded. All right, let's move on to our next sites. Oh, and speaking of which, these three sites, like I said, are available this weekend. All three sites are taken for Jericho weekend, so unfortunately those are not available that weekend. Okay, here we are. We are back at my personal camper right now, and the reason being is my camper is now officially available to rent for a nightly rate, same as any of the other campers. And I do realize that I have not uploaded any pictures to CampSpot showing this camper. So in lieu of that, I'm going to go ahead and take you through this camper now. I did finally get all my stuff out of it. I still need to do a little touch up on the cleaning side of things, so bear with me if you see anything that's a little bit dirty. I haven't gone through to make it absolutely 100% ready for somebody to rent just yet. But this is the camper. It is a 2023 Transcend by Grand Design 265BH if you wanted to look up the model number and see different photos and videos about it. But I'm going to go ahead and take you inside right now just to give you an idea of what it looks like. So again, bear with me. I haven't cleaned it. Oh, it's 86 degrees in here because I'm not running the AC. I'm going to close the door so the black flies don't follow me in. But this is essentially the camper. It's a bunkhouse. And we have in the back, of course the beds aren't made, but that's because I told you before, I don't make the beds until right before the guests come, so we have nice fresh linens. But we have 2 bunks up on top, and these beds are technically, they're not quite as wide as a double, but they're certainly wider than a twin. So you could fit, easily you could fit 2 kids per bunk on this. And you could fit 2 smaller adults per bunk on these. Anyway, that's the bunks in the back. You got a nice closet in the back. You got a couch right here. This is the dinette. Table is not up. It's just sitting right there. Oh, one of the perks that you get if you rent this particular camper, you see this little device right here. If you're not recognizing that, that is a Starlink. So you will have a dedicated internet connection right in the camper if you rent this camper. So you won't have to go on the campground Wi-Fi, which sometimes can be less than stellar when there's a lot of people in the campground all trying to share it. If you rent this camper, I will give you the password to the Starlink, and you'll be able to use it all you want on this camper. So that's a nice little perk for renting this camper. And of course, this is your kitchen. TV's right here. You've got all the amenities. So it's a modern camper. It's got that gray, my daughter likes to call it millennial gray color scheme going on with this camper, but of course you got fridge, freezer here, a little bit of food storage, and of course you get a full width bathroom, so it's a nice sizable bathroom. So toilet, shower, and sink over here. Plenty of room to put your toiletries, so you don't have a tiny corner bathroom. In fact, this, of all of our rental campers, this camper has the biggest bathroom of the 4 rental campers that we have on the property. And then of course in the back we have the master bedroom. So, and that we have I think it's a 6-inch mattress with a 3-inch foam topper on there. So this bed is probably one of the more comfortable beds of the campers that we have on the property, because reason being is this camper is my personal camper. So when I'm not here on the property and I'm you know, during the off season, this camper goes where I go. So this camper, of the rentals, this is the only one that does not have a deck built onto the outside. So this one feels and acts more like a camper that would be here on a transient basis. So yes, you would have to come out and go down the stairs when you come down. But for right now, for this weekend, this is the site that it's located on. This is site number 31. And this camper will actually be moved to site number 24 for Jericho weekend. Only because site 31, before I even came here, site 31 got reserved by somebody else. So I do have to move this camper to another site for a couple of weeks, and then it will be moved back to this site. So, but this is the camper. This is the outside, and it is available this weekend, and it is not available Jericho weekend. It has been booked that weekend already. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. If you have any questions, feel free to give us a call at 603-631-5753. And you could visit us on our website at cedarpondcamping.com, and you can actually book any of the available sites. Oh, and one of the things I wanted to mention too, I've mentioned it in previous videos, but this little screen room right here, this is a public screen room. Has a nice, beautiful little, I'll take you around to the side so you can see the living room setup. It's basically a living room, outdoor living room that is free from bugs. So when the bugs get bad, which they tend to do here in the North Woods, you can get out of this room. This room is available for anybody to use. Basically all you do, if you want to enter that space, is you come up to this little zipper right here, open up the zipper, walk right in, take a seat, and hang out. There's a if it gets a little chilly, there's a gas fire pit in there that you can turn on. It uses the propane tank that's on the other side of the screen room. And then if you need a bigger setup, we have a pavilion right here with 3 picnic tables and a TV that is hanging from the rafters there. It's a Roku TV, so you can log into all of your Roku accounts and go from there. And sometimes we do have a screen that we can set up. We have a projector. This little table right here is where the projector sits. This opening right here is where we hang the screen from, and the screen pretty much covers that whole opening. We've already used it twice in the last couple of weeks. We used it to watch the last Team USA soccer game. Unfortunately, they lost that night, but we did watch that game out here on the big screen. And we used it just the other night for watching the NASCAR race before that race got rained out. So yeah, we have that screen available, and that is available for anyone to use. Just let me know if you need to use it, and we'll set it up. Unfortunately, the projector is not bright enough to watch during the day, but as the sun goes down and it gets dark, you can certainly use the projector and watch basically anything you want, because the way the projector works is you connect it to one of your phones, and then you can use the screen share feature that both Apple and Android have to share the screen to the big screen on TV. So hello, this is future Wayne here. As I was going through editing this video, I realized that something must have happened and it didn't catch the tail end of me signing off on the video, so I'm just adding this quick clip on there to basically officially sign off on the video. And hopefully you guys will have a chance to come visit our property soon. If you have any questions, obviously you can give us a call, 603-631-5753, or you can visit us on our website at cedarpondcamping.com, and you can actually book online there as well. So until the next one, we'll talk to you later. Have a good day.